Summer is not over, Carmela.
I sure hope not.
And despite the fact that the kids are going back to school and football is starting as of today, we still have about a month of summer left.
Woo!
So to help us not squander the last remnants of summertime, we want to talk about a perfect summer wine from Portugal.
Sounds good to me.
Hello and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Wow. Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
That was kind of like country or something.
It was. I don't know why.
Country.
If you're new to our podcast, here's a quick orientation. Each week we explore a different wine varietal or blend like Pinot Noir or Bordeaux or Vinho Verde and dive into what makes it unique and special and worth learning about. And our goal is to help you expand your wine knowledge in a fun way that regular people can understand. And what we also do, Carmela, is we taste and review 2 to 3 wines that are under $20 each in each episode. And we share our scores and recommendations with you to help you find great wines without breaking the bank.
Nice.
Yeah, so thank you for being here. And we are proud to say that Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty.
and entertaining.
Wow.
Okay, so you know how I love to say we love to get suggestions from listeners? Carmela?
You've opened up that
Can of worms, Pandora's
I guess.
box,
Right.
if you will. Well, we're getting some great suggestions from listeners, and I'm really excited today to start a new series of episodes that we will revisit periodically. You can see how excited, or hear how excited
Goodness,
I
I
am.
don't even know what this is.
I know, and it's based on a recommendation from listener Adrian, who said we should do some episodes on Portuguese wine, so here we are.
Oh no, I did
Here
know
we
that.
are.
I thought
Yeah.
you had like a new name for these type of shows.
They
though.
are. They're called Portuguese wine primers.
Wait, but are you calling? But you got to come up with a name, like a WTF series or.
I'm
They're just
telling
called
you, it's Portuguese wine primer.
Are we just going to be doing so much Portugal wine?
Pork. Well, we have Italian wine adventures. We have Bordeaux bargains. Now we have a Portuguese wine primer.
My goodness!
So there
Portugal,
you go.
and made its own.
Made its own thing.
Yeah.
And by the way, the word is pronounced primer, not primer. Although it looks like primer. When you're talking about a learning book or something, it's a primer.
Boy, this is the English teacher coming right out in this guy.
That's right.
Watch out.
And so our first primer is for a much-loved Portuguese wine called Vinho Verde.
Yes.
Now,
A white wine.
Exactly. And we're going to talk about just what the Vinho Verde is in a little bit. But let's take a minute to talk about wines from Portugal in general, okay? Okay. First of all, depending on where you get your information from on the interwebs, Portugal is like the 9th or 10th largest wine producing country in the world. Okay. Now that's saying something because it ranks 93rd in the world in population.
Oh, wow.
So that's crazy.
Right.
So
Lots of wine lovers there for not a very huge place.
exactly. So for comparison, other big wine producing countries like the US and France and Italy and Germany and Spain are all in the top 35, of population. So they're all up there, right? Even Canada is in the top 40. Canada, I would not consider a hugely populous country, right?
It's huge, though.
But we're talking about population.
I know, but I just can't get over
God,
that.
it's already gone downhill. I can't. We
Again.
just started
Again.
and we're already off track.
Wait, where is my script then?
You don't
Where
get
is it?
one because when
Then
you have a
you
script,
have
it's
to-
very dangerous.
No, then you have to expect
No,
that we
because-
are going to go off the rails from time to time.
Can we get back on the rails?
Yes.
Okay. Portugal is a country of about 10.5 million people, and it produces either 9th or 10th most wine in the world. Wow. That's a lot.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to go, wow, and and
There are a lot of people out there that are like, whew, thank God she's not. No, nobody says that. Okay. And so this is why Portugal exports way more wine than it imports, which kind of makes sense because why would they need to import wine if they've got a small population and they're creating tons of wine? And so Portugal exports about half of the wine they produce. So they are outpunching their weight in terms of their wine production. How about that?
Got it.
And there are a lot of different wine varietals in Portugal.
Okay.
And so like Vinho Verde and Port and Dow are the wines that maybe people know if you know anything about Portuguese wines. But there are over 250 indigenous grapes in the country.
Wow.
So Portugal also has one of the most unique wine regions on the planet.
So is it a
And the
good
planet,
place?
wait, I just have to say, the planet is round. I don't know if you knew this, but the
Wait.
planet is round. Well, there's people who don't think it's round.
I mean,
but
the
anyway.
Earth isn't.
So what was your question?
So why
I
are we-
cut off your
couldn't
question.
It be, couldn't be. Okay. And now I forgot. Oh, wait. Is it a good wine making area then?
I
Or
would
grape growing area.
Well, I would think so. If they have 250 varieties
That's what
and
I'm
they
curious.
are the
Yeah.
ninth or
Okay,
10th
okay.
largest wine producers in the world, I think they're pretty damn good.
Okay, just confirming.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. And they've been making wine there for a long time. In fact, since Roman times, they've been making wine.
Oh,
That's like 2,000 years or more. Okay, a few other interesting notes. She gave me this look like, shut up and keep going.
no.
Okay.
I'm just
which
trying
would
to
be
give you
weird.
room
She would
to.
Shut up. I don't know.
No, shut up and keep going.
Shut up. No, keep talking.
Can you do that?
Sometimes
you
she
do
says shut up and wants me to keep talking.
that? Right.
No. Okay. Other interesting notes about Portuguese wines. You ready? You write this down?
Yes, I'm taking notes. I'm
Port-
not actually.
No,
Oh,
you're not. You are doodling, but she does doodle because
I do.
she's
Because
that's
I'm a
what she
little
does.
hyper.
Okay. Anyway.
It was a long time for me to sit, people. It is.
It is, and she yawns when she sits. Okay, Portugal is sometimes a
It
place.
means I'm comfortable. Okay, go on.
It
Go on.
means you're bored. Okay, so Portugal is sometimes a place that people go to have a more affordable or reasonably priced, if you will, vacation in a very beautiful place. And that's sort of the same reputation that they have with their wines. Affordable quality. And also, like a lot of places that have been making wine for a long time, there are a lot of winemakers that use sustainable practices. And while we may think of that as kind of a new thing, again, sustainable practices are quite common when you have people who've been making wines for generation after generation after generation. So it's not new for them. It's just the way that they make things.
Okay.
So I think Portuguese wine is worthy of its own series. I mean, we can do 250 different episodes on Portuguese wines. Oh boy, she's seen her eyes roll. And it's definitely...
Wait a minute. I thought that maybe...
No, you
I
get
don't
2 or
know.
3, but no, we're doing a lot. And it's definitely a place I want to visit in the not so distant future.
Yes. Sounds good to me.
And we have tons of articles and links in our show notes. Did you know we have show notes?
I did.
And so if you want to learn more, tons of stuff there. And as a special shout out, we have a list of wines from Portugal under $20 from Adrian, our listener, who gave us the idea. So
Wow.
I have posted these. They're in our show notes. Go to our website, look for our show notes, and you can see all of these wines and let us know if you try any of them and you think that they're worth drinking. And in future episodes, Adrian, we're going to try and maybe bring in some of these wines. But that was really sweet of her. She took time to put it all down on
Maybe
an
she can
email.
write me a script, too.
Oh boy, Adrian, don't even think about it. Okay, but today we're going to focus on Vinho Verde. And it's a fun and fruity white wine, even though the wine sounds like it's green, verde.
Right.
It's actually a white wine. And we have 2 Vinho Verdes that we're going to try and review to see if they're worth seeking out. And we have lots more fun facts and information to learn about Vinho Verde. But first...
You got to do a shameless plug.
That's right. So thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And if you haven't had the chance to do so yet, now is a great time to subscribe or follow our podcast as a free way to support us and never miss a show. And another great way to support us is to leave us a nice rating review on our website or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or other podcast service so we can continue to grow our listeners. And you can also follow us and see pictures of the wines we're tasting and trying today and weird AI pictures that I like to make on Instagram at the Wine Pair Podcast. And you can contact us like lots of people have on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, or through Joe at thewinepairpodcast.com. And you can sign up for our email newsletter there. And we have lots of news and food and recipes and wine pairing tips and all sorts of fun stuff. And we want to create content that you care about. So send us a note and tell us what you like. I mean, this is evidence of it today. And we love to hear from you. So Christine reached out and she's been reaching out in a lot of different ways. Like she texts us through our app and she sends us emails. We really appreciate it. And she let us know that even after our Chardonnay episode, she is still not a fan of Chardonnay.
Oh.
That's okay. She likes white Bordeaux. We like white Bordeaux, but she's still not convinced. It's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We really weren't doing that to convince anybody.
No,
We were just-
maybe ourselves, but you know.
Yeah, it was just another opportunity to try a wine that we don't particularly, or we don't usually choose. And just see what we think.
And we ended up liking it. And by the way, we did end up buying a bunch of the Bogle for the party that we
had a party recently and we had that.
Yeah, and people drank it. So there you go. And we also got a nice note from Bud, who reached out to us a long while ago, but he reached out to us again to make sure he got our newsletter. So I sent that one along to him, and he told us about some wines from Total Wine that he likes, and Trader Joe wines, and even, ironically, a Vinho Verde that he likes.
Nice.
And so we really, again, just appreciate hearing from you and knowing that you like what we're doing, and tell us some stuff that you want us to do.
Nice.
And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should, I'm getting my radio voice on, we think you should recommend the Wine Pair podcast to, so we can keep growing our listeners. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who is hoping to squeeze the last drops out of summer and still wants to find a good summer wine.
Like somebody who's just like all about summer.
All about
Is that
summer.
What you mean? Like somebody who just can't get enough
They can't, and they know it's waning.
And
it's
they're one of
waning.
those people who they don't live in a place that it's summer all year long.
Yeah, and evidently we don't live in a place where it's summer all year long, because even in summer, it's been like fall for the last week.
Well, it's been weird because we had a really hot summer
Hot
until
June.
about a week ago.
Yeah, and now it's been rainy. It's like in the 60s. Like, what the hell?
Wait, it's not over though.
It's not over. It's not over. We're not giving up on it.
No.
So, Carmela, let's learn more about what the Vinho Verde is and why we should care about it. Shall we do that?
Let's.
Okay, so first, Vinho Verde is the name for the region the wine is made in, not for a particular grape. There is no grape called Vinho Verde. Okay? You got that?
That's fine.
So this is one of those wines.
Maybe it comes from a green grape, though.
It could very well be.
Because
but
it's
I'll
very
tell you what. I'll tell you what. It comes from a lot of grapes. But
Okay.
because you don't have the script, you don't know that I'm going to talk about that. So let me just get there.
This is proof, people.
Oh, boy, this is really just again. We have gone off.
We haven't.
We had gone right back on the tracks, and now we're off the tracks again.
You're just gonna have to deal with it.
I guess I am.
sometimes.
Okay. So this is very typical, though, about, a lot of European wines, like those in Italy and France and other places in Spain. And like sometimes you know the grape by the name, but sometimes the wine is named after the region. And Vinho Verde is a region. And it's in the very north and west part of Portugal, and it borders on the area of Spain called Galicia or Galicia, and it used to be called Minho. I don't know why that's important, but that's what it was called. But in 1908, that area was named the Vinho Verde region. And then they came up with designations of their wine. Interestingly enough, their designation, like official designation for their wine, is DOC, which is actually what they use in Italy as well. And it was made official in 1984.
Okay.
Now, as you jump the gun on, the wine is actually made from a combination of grapes.
Okay.
And there are 19 grapes that are allowed. And I'm going to go through each one of them. No, I'm not going to go through each one of them.
I just wanted to hear the accent.
No, I can't do it. But if you go to our show notes, which we have show notes, and you check, we have links so you can find out if you're really curious. But the DOC recommends the following 7 grapes for the white wine. And yes, there are red and rosé Vinho Verdes, but we're talking about the white one today.
Okay.
And over 85% of the wine from the area is white. And those grapes are Alvarinho, which is the same as Albarino. It's the same grape.
Okay.
And there's that Spanish wine, Albarino, which we had at a restaurant the other day.
Right.
Which people seem to enjoy.
I think so.
Arinto, Avesso, Azal, Batoca, Loureiro, and Trajadura. I don't actually
That was
know.
really good,
Thank
Joe.
you, but I did it with a Spanish accent, not a Portuguese accent, so I might have pronounced them completely
Right.
wrong.
People are just
Right, but the people in Galicia may say, "Oh, you did it perfectly."
they
Anyway,
might, but they may not.
so Carmela, I know you have one big question on your lips.
I'm sure I do.
Why do they call it
Vinho Verde.
exactly?
I've been wanting to know that.
Well,
Are you going to tell us?
I'm not going to tell you. No, I am. So again, verde means green in Spanish, but the wine's not green.
Vino means
Wine. But it's spelled vinho.
no.
Vinho.
Okay, but
It is. It's Portuguese.
okay, I get
Okay.
it.
But anyway, it turns out there really isn't a clear answer. So I went to this website called Wines of Portugal. So you'd think if there was any place that would know about wines of Portugal, it would be a website called Wines of Portugal.
But no.
Well, this is what they said. I'm going to just quote. This is a quote, direct quote from the website.
Disappointing.
Some say that the designation verde, green, is due to the acidity and freshness characteristic of Vinho Verde and that it reminds one of unripe fruit. Oh. Others say that this is explained by the fact that the wine is produced in a region very rich in vegetation and is therefore very green even in winter.
Okay.
That's just stupid. Why don't they know? They're called wines of...
Why don't they
Who are you going to ask? Mr. Verde?
Yes.
Okay.
There's got to be
Here's why I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Because it's often in a green tinted bottle.
I was actually wondering.
Okay.
Is it really?
It's often is. Not always. Sometimes clear, sometimes not.
Well, maybe they took Vinho Verde and decided that's what they were going to do with it, though.
Maybe. They were like, we called it this,
bottle.
We better show it that way. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It just makes me upset that Wines of Portugal doesn't know.
Okay. I'm trying to get educated.
I'm just trying to educate myself and you, and I can't talk. Okay, you want some other interesting fun facts about Vinho Verde?
Yes, please.
It's usually, but not always, effervescent. But not to the point of being sparkling. I think of it more like it's like a soda pop that's kind of got a little flat. It's got a little fizz in it.
I feel like an effervescent is different than a flat soda.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I think it's just more. Why are you laughing? I just think it's sort of.
I'm just curious.
I think it's sort of fuzzy.
Okay, fuzzy.
Yeah,
I like fuzzy. I like to drink fuzzy things.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it doesn't feel like flat. Is like
fizzy or fuzzy.
I don't know.
Or maybe. Furry.
Maybe
Did you mean furry?
Fizzy.
Okay.
Maybe I meant fizzy.
Did you say soda?
I think I meant fizzy.
Soda pop or pop?
It depends on what decade.
Okay. What do you say now?
I say soda.
But it was always pop.
It was pop.
It was
in
always
the 80s
pop
and 90s.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
Okay, no, I think I meant fizzy. I don't know where fuzzy came from.
I don't know, but I like furry actually better.
No, furry. What did I say?
You said fuzzy.
Okay. It is sort of fuzzier in your tongue, but it's fizzy too. It's fizzy.
All right, good.
But
again, we have gone off the rails. Okay.
Effervescent is not flat like a pop.
You're right.
Or
a
soda.
Okay.
Or a soda pop.
Fine.
Or a soft drink.
Now, here's another interesting fun fact about I'm trying to keep moving here.
Okay.
The other thing about the effervescence is in the past, it happened naturally because sometimes they would bottle the wine before it was fully fermented and it would kind of finish fermenting in the bottle and the carbon, and then,
it'd get fuzzy
in there. But now they do it artificially, which seems like cheating, but you know what? I'll let it go.
Okay, I just realized something. You're going to kill me.
Oh boy, what?
A soft drink. I know why they call it a soft drink.
Why?
Because it's not a hard drink.
And it's fuzzy.
No, but that's why, right? It's soft and fuzzy.
Because it's not,
and
doesn't have alcohol in it.
Oh my God, I just learned that. I was today years old.
I was
today years old when I learned
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a breakthrough. This is a breakthrough.
Did you know that?
We have primer. Yes, that is why it's called a soft drink. Anyway, oh my God, she just hit her head. Okay, anyway.
We haven't even had anything to drink yet.
We have lost the rails. We don't even know where the rails are anymore.
Do you mean the reins?
Okay, anyway, another interesting fun fact about Vinho Verde is that it can run the gamut from off-dry, which means semi-sweet, to dry. And again, we say this a lot, but you can usually tell if a wine is sweet or not based on the alcohol content. If it's under about 11%, you're starting to get into sweeter wines. Mm-hmm. And in fact, one of the wines we have today is 9.5%. So it is a sweet wine. So we have one dry and one sweet one we're going to try today. And as would be appropriate for this episode, Vinho Verde is considered a great summer wine because it's crisp and fresh and should be served super cold. And it's also usually not an expensive wine. Like you can usually find it for $10 or so. Like it's pretty easy to find. You can just pick it up off the shelf. It should be drunk young. Like you don't want it to sit around for a while. And it often comes in a screw cap. So for all of these
picnic wine.
Exactly. For all of these reasons, a great picnic wine. So should we learn a little bit more about the specific wines that we chose for today, Carmela?
Yes.
Both wines that we have chosen for this episode are, as usual, under $20, and they should be relatively easy to find because I bought one of them on wine.com and the other one I found at the local Kroger grocery store we call Fred Meyer. That's how they say it in Portugal, Fred Meyer. I will say that Vinho Verde should be easy to find, and most grocery stores and wine shops have it. But if there's not a Portuguese section, which there probably won't be, or a large wine section, you may find it lurking on the bottom shelf because that's where they put the lower price.
I've never thought of a bottle of wine lurking.
It's just like kind of peering at you, like, excuse me, please. I'm just, hello. I'm
following you around.
I'm just down here. I'm down here. No, but I think it's put on the bottom shelf often because it's less expensive, but that doesn't mean it's in low quality.
Wow.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
So the first one we're going to drink today is the dry one, and it's called Joao Portugal Ramos Loureiro Vinho Verde, and it's a 2022. And this wine had a tech sheet, and you know I love a good tech sheet, and you can find the link to it in our show notes. And it's not a blend. So this wine is 100% Loureiro grape.
Oh.
As you may assume from the name on the bottle, if you actually knew that one of the grapes in Vinho Verde was Loureiro. But now you do. Okay. And the wine is 12.5% alcohol, so definitely dry. And it's considered bright and lively. And it got an 88 rating and a Best Buy rating from Wine Enthusiast, and an 88 from James Suckling.
Jimmy.
But what I'm shocked about is he didn't give it a 90. Because he gives everything a 90.
Worried.
I know. 88.
Was he having a bad day?
I don't know. It might be toilet water for all we know. Now, the wine is not vegan, because the winery says they use an animal-based fining agent. So it's probably like egg-based. And they do say that they leave it on the skins for 4 to 6 hours before it is fermented in stainless steel. So there you go.
All right.
The next wine we're going to try is a definite grocery store staple, and I'm pretty sure you've all seen it before. It's called Casal Garcia Vinho Verde, and this is also a 2022. And it's a wine you see all over the place. And it's got this blue label. You will know it. You will, when you see it, you'll go, "Oh, I've seen this wine. I know." It's kind of a pretty blue, very sharp blue label. So you'll know it when you see it. It is definitely an off-dry or semi-sweet wine. It's, again, only 9.5% alcohol. So this will be a good contrast to see what we think about a sweeter Vinho Verde versus a dry one. I think it'll be a good, and again, because that is a really easy Vinho Verde to find. So It might be interesting to see, like, somebody may pick it up and go, "I don't like it, it's too sweet." So I'm really interested to see, I don't like it. I see you lurking.
Lurking at the bottom shelf.
And you're too sweet for me, Lurky.
You should have seen him. You look like Igor or something, lurking.
Okay, anyway. Okay, you can also find a tech sheet for this wine, but it's sometimes the case with these larger, big brand wines. They don't give you a ton of detail. What I can tell you...
Detail.
Detail.
Detail or detail? Primer.
Primer. Definitely primer. What I can tell you, it is a blend of a few different grapes, but they don't give you the exact blend. The grapes they use are Trajadura, Loureiro, Arinto, and Forneo Pires. Oh. So where the last one was only Loureiro, this one is a blend of 3 additional grapes. And this wine often has a sticker that it says a 90 rating from...
James Suckling.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing. He didn't give the 2022 a 90 rating. He gave like one of their wines a 90 rating, and they decided they're going to keep putting the sticker on it, which I think is cheating.
You can't do that.
I think it's cheating. I think it's false. It's misleading, at least. Advertising.
Weird.
But the other thing about it too is it's James Suckling. So that makes it worse.
Right. People are like, I mean, are they really trusting him anyway?
I think they see a 90 and they're it's a 90.
That's probably the only person
that's how they say when they're lurking. 90.
I don't like it.
I don't know. We just stopped right there.
I'm waiting for the script.
I know, but they say the wine should
take a beat.
Woo! Yeah, it says pause. Pause for laughter. So this is a wine they say you should drink nice and cold, probably because it's so sweet and like me. But I think that's enough information.
Drink you nice and cold?
Yum, yum, yum. Okay, but I think that's enough information. And we're going to take a quick break and be right back. And if you have one of these wines or similar wines, drink along with us. And Adrian said she was going to drink along with us. And guess what, Adrian? Extra participation points for you.
Wow.
We'll be right back. Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our first wine. This is the Joao Portugal Ramos Loureiro Vinho Verde. It's from Vinho Verde, Portugal. It is 2022 vintage. It was $9.99 at wine.com. 12.5% alcohol. And again, this one is not a blend. It's 100% Loureiro. And Wine Enthusiast gave it an 88. And Sucky James Suckling gave it an 88 as well. But Carmela... Well, first of all, I'm just going to say it's not super, I don't find it super effervescent in the glass. We'll see what it tastes like. Right. But what are you smelling?
Well, it's very bright. It's nice. I mean, I think that I'm getting some like apple cider, maybe some like ripe pear.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm getting some stone fruit.
Oh, some peach.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little peach on it and lemony. I can smell some citrus on it.
Citrus, yeah.
Maybe even a touch of vanilla. Like there's something a little sweet on it, like vanilla.
Yeah, it's bright though too. Like it's not. I don't find it tart smelling, if that makes any sense. Like
no,
I
agree.
It's sweet. Like I'm going back to those Anjou pears or.
It does have a little apple on it, but I'm getting like a peach, like an orchard, like a stone fruit as well as the orchard fruit. But I can't get like marshmallow or something like that out of my head. But
marshmallow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And vanilla. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try it.
Okay.
It's really not fizzy.
No. It's citrusy.
Very citrusy. And I would say appley. Like it does have an apple kind of taste to it.
Yeah. And it's lemon. I'm getting lemon, not like lime. Not really, it's definitely like.
It's super lemony. It's super acidic. It's very crisp.
Yeah, I like it.
This is very crisp.
And it is nice and cold, and I think you want it cold.
Granny Smith, we've talked about this before, very Granny Smith to me. Mm-hmm. And like when I was little, my mom would put lemon on my apples in my lunch bag. From turning brown. Yeah, which I don't know if it ever worked. It just tastes like a lemony apple. Yeah. And that's what this tastes like.
This does. I would definitely say that too. Mm-hmm.
It feels very summer. This seems like a wine. We've said this before, put an ice cube in it. You're fine. Like keep it's really nice cold.
It's a good crowd pleaser. I don't think that, I know it's not a big, oaky wine or anything like that, but I do think that this is one, it's almost like light or thin, and not in a bad way, but like in a sipper way.
Yeah, sometimes like a Pinot Grigio can kind of feel that way, where it's just super light and crispy and cold. That's what it is. This is not a serious wine. Mm-mm. This is a fun wine. This is like go on a picnic wine.
This is almost like lemon flavored water. Like it could be dangerous because you could just gulp this. And...
You know what? You're right. Now that you mention that, it does kind of taste like when you have a slice of lemon in your water.
Yeah, yeah. Or when sometimes you go to like a nice hotel and they'll have like the water canister or whatever with lots of lemon that's been sitting there for a while, but it's very cold.
Yes. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like that.
Totally does. What food would you have with this?
I'm thinking like spicy food would be really good. Something even like, I don't know, I'm thinking like egg rolls, like, something.
Ooh, that would be good.
Egg rolls would be something crispy, crunchy. I just think this would do really well with salty. It would be so refreshing with salty, spicy, crunchy.
Kind of feels like an appetizer wine to me.
Okay, like charcuterie and stuff?
Yeah. And like, you were saying like, yeah, and you were saying like egg rolls and you were talking about salty, like potato chips and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Not that you couldn't have it throughout a meal, but it does kind of feel like a light kind of start the meal kind of wine.
Yes, I agree. Sit by the pool or in your beach chair.
Mm-hmm. In your birthday suit? What? I don't know.
Where are you going?
I just came to mind. I don't know. I don't know. I heard it in my head and I said it out loud I shouldn't have.
I'm probably not going to drink this in my birthday suit.
Well, I hope not. I don't know if I hope not. I hope so. I don't know. I've come confused.
You really put yourself in a
I
bad
screwed up.
Position.
Again, we have gone off the rails.
I need to know now. Do you want me to drink this in my birthday suit?
I do. Please, let's do it now.
Okay, that's
Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Jesus criminy. So let's rate this stupid wine. No, as a reminder on our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10, where 7 and above means that we'd buy it, and 4 or below means we're going to pour it down the sink, and a 5 or 6 is men's amends. It's okay. We'll drink it. We'll finish it, but we're probably not going to buy it. So what rating would you give this?
Well, I'm definitely giving it a 7.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really solid 7. I could even have an 8 just because there's nothing wrong with like I can't think of anything that's wrong
Well,
with it.
feel free to give it an 8. I'm a 7 on it because I like it, but it's not like blowing my socks
No,
off.
that's why I'm keeping mine a 7. for
Yeah,
now.
but it's nice wine and it's very drinkable.
Yeah.
And it's not complicated. It's like just have some
Exactly.
find a wine, have some fun. That's what it is.
In your birthday suit.
In your birthday suit. Okay. We're going to take a break and we're going to try our second wine and take off our clothes.
No.
Okay, we're back and we are ready to try our next wine. This is the Casal Garcia Vinho Verde, and this one is definitely fizzy. Like
Yes.
you can see fizziness in the glass.
Yeah. Bubbles on top.
The last one was not fizzy at all. This one is also from Vinho Verde, Portugal. It is also a 2022. Is $8.99
My
at
goodness.
Fred Meyer, which is our local Kroger. Again, 9.5% alcohol, so very low. The grapes in it are Trajadura, Loureiro, Arinto, and Fernando Pires. And it has no professional rating for this vintage, although it does have this sticker for James Suckling on it. But Carmela, what are you smelling?
Well, what are you smelling?
At first, I was a little bit off-putting, like
I know a little bit of that.
vegetal kind of.
Yeah,
Was that
or
what you were
even,
getting?
well, I was kind of getting more like, a little like dirt or earth
Yeah.
or I think give it a swirl.
Yeah, actually, sometimes when you swirl wines, they get more kind of earthy. This one seems to get less
I
earthy.
don't know why, but
I'm
not
getting
as
a
much
little
fruit.
No, I'm getting a little flower on it, like sometimes they say a white flower, like a little.
Oh, okay. Well, and that's
I'm
it's
just
supposed
getting
to
a
be
little-
sweet. I mean, it could be sweet, so I could see.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit of like orange on it, almost like citrus, but orange,
Okay, I'm almost.
or maybe even grapefruit or something.
Okay, yeah.
like a pink grapefruit. How about that?
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I can't get the earth out of my head. It's pretty
Well, if
thin.
you might want to clean out your ears.
I said out of my head. It's not-
Well, your ears are part of your head.
oh, true.
Are your ears not on your head? She's naked, ladies and gentlemen.
That was not in the script.
No.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of apple or pear on it or something too.
You know what I'm getting a little bit of? It's like soap.
Okay. I think that's maybe
like
the
a-
flowery kind of smell I was getting
yeah,
too.
like an ivory soap though. Nothing like
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Very
almost-
pure, very pure, clean soap.
yeah.
Kind of soap that would like scrape your skin off.
After a time, even though it says it's like
Gentle.
Yes,
But it's harsh.
it's like Dove or Ivory. That
Yeah. And you knew you were clean because there was actually no oil left on your body whatsoever.
right, and then you went right to the moisturizer.
Well, I didn't. I just went right to the. I don't know what I did. Okay. Well, let's taste it.
It tastes like soap.
It is a little soapy. It does have just a skosh. Just a little bit of fuzzy or furry or fizzy on it.
Yes, you said fuzzy too.
I know, because I was making fun of you.
Oh, okay.
You know what it tastes like to me?
What?
A little bit? Almost like a sorbet, like a lemon sorbet or a grapefruit sorbet.
Yeah,
I think it's a little
It is a little
grapefruity.
grapefruity, yeah. But with that little sweetness, it's not as. I thought it was actually going to be sweeter.
I did too.
It's actually not. I wouldn't tire of this like I would with some extra sweet wines.
I feel like you can taste the sweetness in it for sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cloying. It's not
No,
cloying.
no.
It's very thin. It's not like it's not unctuous. It's super cold, so that probably helps.
Right.
But it doesn't have that thickness that you might expect.
Yeah. And it is a little fizzy.
I'm getting apple now. A little apple.
I can see the little bubbles on the side of the glass, which you could not see in the other one. Do you see that?
Yeah. And if you look on the top of the wine, it's almost like this little film of bubbles.
Yeah.
Little tiny filmy bubbles.
And I do think that you're saying apple. I think, again, it would be like a Granny Smith. And maybe a little Granny Smith pie, even.
And now that I'm tasting it again, I'm getting orange, and I'm definitely getting orange, like an orange sorbet, and I am getting soapy. There's something soapy.
I don't know what it is.
You know, actually, maybe some of the soapiness comes from the fact that there is now, maybe there is a little thickness, just a little tiny bit of thickness that's giving it a little bit of that soapy kind of feel in the mouth.
Maybe. What are you going to eat with this?
This one feels like, honestly, I feel like it could be an after dinner wine. It might be good with like, if you were having like cheeses or something after dinner. It might be good. Sometimes you might have like not a sweet dessert, but a little bit of like cheese after dessert. Yeah, if you're fancy like that. But it feels to me like more like an appetizer, aperitif kind of wine. This is definitely a wine because I am getting some of the sweetness on it that I would put ice in. I think I would put ice in it because I'd want to cut.
You want to keep it cold.
Well, I'd also want to cut some of the sugar. It's a lot. It
kind
feels
of water it down a bit or dilute it.
Dilute it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. This is going to sound funny, but like because it does have that hint of sweetness and you're talking about after dinner wine, I can almost see this with a really dark chocolate too.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Just something.
Or a vanilla ice cream.
Oh, be really good. Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that.
Fancy. We're so fancy.
Anything else you would have with it?
I think you're on the right track. I guess, I also can see this with like something bready, like focaccia, something like that too.
I could see that. All right.
Or calzone, but with not a tomato sauce.
Oh, do they make calzones without tomato sauce?
Sure.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Why not?
I'm losing my voice.
What?
I lost my clothes. Now I'm losing my voice.
Oh my God. If you could see us now.
Naked.
No.
Okay, let's rate this wine. What rating are you giving this wine?
I think I'm going to give it this is tough, but I think I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay, I am actually as well. Now, are you going to stick with your 7 on the Loureiro or the Joao?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm sticking with it. And then of the 2 wines, that's also the one you're finishing.
I'm definitely finishing that. I think the first one was nice. I think this one's nice too.
It's just different. To me, this would not be a go-to. Like, I might do this on a special occasion or something, but it's a little on the sweet end for me.
And I do think that to mix this up with something unusual, like having it with something unusual, like I said, dark chocolate, you said ice cream, something that would actually complement it in a different way.
I agree.
Because other things that we would probably eat with this, we'd choose a different wine.
Fully. I would. There are other white wines I would have instead of this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the taste profiles expected from Vinho Verde. Are you ready for this, Carmela?
I'm so ready.
Wine Folly says lemonade, pink grapefruit, lime zest, yellow apple, white blossom. So we got a lot of those.
But that was for the first one or for this actual?
No, this is
Vinho Verde?
in general.
Okay.
In general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the Joao, Portugal, Ramos, Loureiro, Vinho Verde, the winery says fresh and elegant aroma with citrus and floral notes combined with a pronounced minerality and long intense finish. Wine Enthusiast says the soft style Loureiro is evident in this creamy, ripe wine, crisp edge, white fruits, cool freshness. Sucky James Suckling said lemon, kiwi fruit, and sea breeze on the nose.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Sea breeze, I kind of like that though. I know. But I thought that's kind of...
And then he did say fresh and lemony with light body and crisp finish. So we said the same thing.
That. Okay.
Casal Garcia, the winery, says smooth wine stands out for its freshness with aromas of citrus and tropical fruits. It's known for being light, fresh, and cheerful. Wine Enthusiasts, these are now reviews or taste profiles from older vintages, but this is what Wine Enthusiast says. The wine is all bright, clean fruit and acidity. It's just off dry with a slight spritz. James Suckling said, very typical Vinho Verde, tangy and energetic, citrusy fruit, light and nice, serve very cold. I agree with that. So what do you think of Vinho?
No soap.
No soap, though. Nobody got soap. What do you think of Vinho Verde?
I like it. It's a very light, and I would agree,
super likable. Super likable wine. And I think, it's probably not going to be a wine that knocks your socks off, but I think it's super fun, super great end of summer wine. Enjoy it. Just enjoy. This is a wine that you should just pop open and enjoy.
It's not complicated.
No, just enjoy it.
So that's, in some ways it makes it like summer, dog days of summer.
Super fun.
They don't need to be complicated.
As you're getting depressed, because summer's over.
Keep it light.
Keep it light. Keep it vino.
Keep it light. Birthday suit and Vinho Verde.
Naked. Be naked as a priest. I don't know why I said a priest. But okay.
Wow.
Carmela?
What the heck?
I don't know.
Talk about going off the rails.
We have finally just lost the train. We lost the train. Okay.
They kicked us out, I think.
I think they did. Okay, it's time for us to go. But before we do, we want to thank you very much for listening to us. And if you haven't done so yet, now is the perfect time to follow follow us and subscribe us and leave a nice rating, not subscribe us, but subscribe to us and leave a nice rating and review on our website or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever you do. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. We do love to hear from you. We love your ideas. We want to hear from you about things you want us to taste and review. Leave a message on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. Join our email newsletter there. If you missed our latest newsletter, I will send it to you if you email me at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. I did it to Bud this week. Just trust me, I will do it. And we'd love to hear from you. But with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time. And like we like to say, life has a short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Adio.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much, always drink too much, always pray too much, always play too much. And when I'm with you too much, I fall in love too much. And when I'm away too much,